Good morning, Flosstubers. I had tried to upload my first video last night and something went wrong with it. I don't think I had my time limit up high enough because it was about 16, 17 minutes. So I think that was part of the problem. And today I'm trying to do another one and I'm realizing for some reason my videos are coming up darker than what they really should be, but I don't have time to run to go get my phone looked at till Monday at the earliest, possibly. So I don't know what it is. I might even just have my husband look at it when he gets home. But we're going to do this because I want to get this done, get it up, get some feedback, and then I have to go start getting stuff ready for my 13-year-old and 4-year-old's birthday party on Sunday. So that right there give a little bit of an intro, but we're going to do this. I got my list in front of me. I got a couple whips and one finish to show you guys, just to show you kind of my style. So I wrote down some questions and we're going to do this today. So my name is Dawn. I'm 35 years old. I live in a little itty bitty town in western PA called Turkeytown, Pennsylvania. About an half hour outside of Greensburg, PA, and I live about an hour drive outside of Pittsburgh, PA. Bleed black and gold. Lived here my whole entire life. Have family in Pittsburgh and out here. I've been married to my husband for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years this November on the 13th. And yes, we did get married on a Friday the 13th. He proposed to me on a Friday the 13th because that's kind of my thing. We have 3 kids together. My 13-year-old is from a previous relationship, but he's been in her life since she was 4. So to her, that's dad. And then we had 2 more daughters together, so 3 daughters altogether, ages 13, 7, and 4. I do work part-time at my local YMCA in the Child Watch Room, which is some days nice, other days I can't believe some of these people had kids with the way they're raising them, but that's just my opinion. A couple questions I did write down that I asked, and I watched a couple videos to get a couple other questions. So, somebody asked me online what my favorite color was, because it didn't all have to be a Stitchy related question, which is fine. Can't even really say I have one particular favorite color. My main colors, if you would look in my closet, look at my jewelry, are red and black, because black goes with everything. So I can accessorize black with just about any other color, and then red, and then throw in white for every now and then just to spice it up. Those were my wedding colors, black, white, and red. Time of day that I stitch and for how long. It varies from day to day, what I have going on. Like today, I might stitch a little bit tonight after I get some stuff cleaned up around the house and I'm decompressing. Other days, like during the summer, the kids were home when we didn't go anywhere. I'd sit and stitch on and off all day while I'd get them set up with some kind of craft project or a movie and a bowl of popcorn, depending on what they wanted to do. And we would have a craft day, or we would just have a bummy day. Just depending on the day. So like I said, depends on the time of day. It just really depends on the day what I do. And I'm realizing I really do talk with my hands watching this as I'm recording. The size of my stash is pretty considerable. I don't have a huge stash of fabric because I kind of tend to buy as I need on that. But I am on an auto order with Mo's sale for her cotton floss. I get 2 skeins of the new colors every month. And then if I need more, I buy more. I do buy fabric from her. I recently just ended my fabric of the month with Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie because the kids are just sucking me dry. And so I'm just trying to use what I have in the stash. I do have a reasonably large pattern stash. I have a lot of PDFs online. I do have quite a bit printed. And here comes my 4-year-old. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go play. Okay? Mommy will be out in a minute, okay? Go play. Go play. That's part of the reason why I don't get to stitch a lot. I would want to.
Mom, it's football now.
What?
It's football.
Okay, I'll be out in a minute. Go ahead. I'll be right there. Mommy's talking to her friends, okay? Okay, bye. But like I was saying, I do have a large stash of hand-dyed floss as she's sneaking in again. My favorite type of fabric is 28 count. I'm going to pause this here for a second. Okay, unpause. My favorite type of fabric is 28 count even weave. When I first got back into stitching, I had started back on 14 count, and then I did my first Heaven and Earth on 18 count, and then, which was my quick stitch aquamarine, and then when I bit the bullet to do 28 count, it was because that was the only piece of fabric I could find big enough for what I was doing, because I did, the Entwine from Heaven and Earth, which is no longer available, because I think they don't even have that artist anymore. I'm not sure, but I know that's not on there, because I looked the other day. And I bit the bullet on buying the 28 count, because that was the only piece of fabric I could find big enough at my local store. And I've never looked back since. I still do 14 count, I still do 18 count, but my favorite is 28 count, because you can get a big size piece, and you might be able to get 2 size projects out of it. Like, I like my fabric from Mo's sale because her standard size is 30 by 20. So you get a piece of 28 count from her, you might be able to get 2, possibly 3 projects out of one piece of fabric, depending on the size. I prefer Monaco 28 count. Belfast is a close second. I'm not a particular fan of Joblin because, and I know you guys can probably hear her in the background, she's mad because I told her to leave. Joblin's not my particular favorite because it's a little too soft and slippy for me. I like to be able to bounce a quarter, as the saying would go, when I do my tension in my hoops, which I stitch in a hoop. That's how I was taught. I did try Q-snaps once. I just didn't like how it felt in my hand when I was holding it, because I'm a right-hander. I'm a right-handed stitcher. I'm right-handed, and I didn't like the way it felt in my left hand when I was holding it to stitch. I guess it's just to each their own. Types of patterns. I have stitched all different types. I have 3 of the Heaven and Earth Birthstone Fairies going, 1 for each of my daughters, which I do need to start working on at least my oldest again here soon. But I've had some issues with them here in the past year or so, and kind of leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Doesn't make me want to pick it up, but I need to do it because it's for them. And then also because another reason why I'm having a hard time wanting to get back into it is I started working on all 3 of them before I really got good at 10 stitching. So they're all full crosses, which is making it seem like it's taking forever to get more done on it. And I had somebody suggest, well, why don't you just start over again? Well, I already have a whole page done on each. And that wouldn't be a problem, but they're being stitched on hand-dyed fabric that I've got from Crafty Kitten, that I got fabric that kind of went with each pattern, more or less. And I don't want to have to order again, because, I mean, there's about $40 right there in fabric that I don't want to, not that I couldn't use it for something else, but there would be a big corner missing. And, I mean, my oldest picked her fabric, so, but, I've done a lot of full coverage. I've done a lot of the, one color designs that I've switched out and done in other colors. Like, one of my big ones I did was from Love Thy Thread before she went out of business. She'd put up, it was way before she went out of business. She put up in her private group the In This House rules, and I went through and did each line in a different color based on what I thought each line needed, and all the floss in it is from hand dyed by Mo. Once again, from Mo's sale, as you can tell, she's kind of my favorite. Partly because I actually knew her personally before she started doing the business, because she lived here local in Pittsburgh before she moved to Florida. So, like, I went through on that. There's one line that says, "We do hugs." Well, she has a floss named Olaf, so Olaf went for that. Or there was a line that said, make every moment count. To me, that screamed to do the TARDIS floss. So I went through and we picked and chose, some of them are variegated, some of them are solid colors. It's a mishmash. I have recently purchased the Pain-Free Crafts We Are Geeks chart, and I went through my Mo stash and picked floss that went with each line to me, that I felt went with each line. Like the line that's in the Hobbit one, I picked her, she had silk, Hobbit and Lord of the Rings silk, so I picked Legolas, because I like Legolas, I like Orlando Bloom, so it's all there really is to it. I've recently gotten into Crafty Kitten, Charting Creations, from Nikki Northup. And if you haven't checked her out yet, go look up Charting Creations on Facebook and online. You will love her silhouette charts. They scream for hand-dyed fabric, hand-dyed floss, whichever way you want to do it, because especially the silhouettes. I mean, she's got some full coverage charts, and some of her full coverage charts are awesome, but I have enough of those that if I ever get into them. But I love her silhouettes because you can do them in any shape, form, color. It can be, everybody could do the same one and it could all look different if everybody did not do just the black, on a white piece of fabric. But I figure I'll show somebody else want to know what's in my stitching spot. Well, I'm not in my stitching spot right now. I'm in my bedroom. Because the little one, as you can still hear, is out there having a conniption fit because, God forbid, I told her she couldn't interrupt me anymore. In my stitching spot, I have a recliner that's in a corner, and I have a really bright light over it that my husband put there for me. So, like, if everybody's in there watching TV or something, it's later at night, we don't have to have the big light on, and I turn that on. Even if it's, like, daylight, I still turn it on just because of the 28 counts. So I can see a little bit better, because I do wear glasses, but I took them off because the glare from the computer screen was reflecting in them. So if I'm sitting in my stitching spot, I'm in my little corner, my little recliner. I got some of my stitching stuff around me. And then I can see it's my stitching spots in my living room. So my kids' toys are everywhere. Kids' stuff's everywhere. The TV's there. The case of DVDs. We have a computer that we've uploaded movies onto. So that's out there. It's the family area, which means I'm going to have to pack some of my stuff up here. And then between today and tomorrow with the birthday party coming up on Sunday, so nobody messes with anything. Thankfully, a couple of my projects I have in an ottoman, and then I also have a couple 31 bags out there that each have 2 bigger projects in them that I just kind of decide what I want to stitch and I pull out of there. And then I do have some of my smaller ones that I just keep in the ottoman. But that's about it for about me. How many whips? I'd say around 10 if you wanted to count everything. But I just kind of pull out or do whatever speaks to me. Like, I'm really wanting to start the We Are Geeks, which I probably will start in on when I finish the Daenerys piece from Tilton Crafts, which is another one you definitely need to check out if you have not checked her out. I have a couple of her pieces, I have a good bit of charts from Tilton Crafts. Some of them I don't know if I'll ever stitch. But, I mean, I have some were racks, some I bought. So, but, alrighty. Well, I'm going to show you a couple whips. I made sure I put some out. Excuse me, I want to move something. Alright, this is my Daenerys. I cannot remember where this one, and, well, this is a Dragon Needle Miner, and this one says Fire and Blood. I do know where they are from, but I'm not going to name her name because I know a lot of people have not had problems with her, but I personally had a problem with who it was from. I had told her I had to cancel an invoice because my daughter got sick, and the money I'd put aside to pay the invoice, I had to use to take my daughter to the doctor and get a prescription filled because she had strep throat. The woman kicked me out of her group and blocked me online. So I personally will not name her. If you recognize them, that's fine. The Inside Out is from Minding My Minders by Jeannie Franks. Love her stuff. I had to get it because we're big Inside Out fans in this house. But as you can see, I'm almost done with her. I notched my pages when I would finish the page so I know where to kind of line stuff up at. I just have to finish this page, and then there's one more little one, and she's done. I started her March of 2014, and I put her down for quite a while, and then just the other day I was like, Khaleesi's calling me. I need to work on her. I was over in this area, and I just kept going. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going on her. I'm so close. We're going to keep going. If you would look this up on Tilton's, it's actually box shaped because there's a bunch of B5200 around it to make it square shaped. I opted to leave that off, so she was just kind of around it, which is nice about these pieces from Cordic. There's a couple of them, like there's an Anna and Elsa one. There's even one that's Anna and Elsa together, like even the Katniss one I'm working on. You could make it the box shape, or I'm choosing to make them the rounded because I just think it'll look. I personally was like, I'm not stitching 4 pages of nothing but B5200. So that was just me personally. But to what everybody else wants to do, that is up to you. All right, so that's it for my Khaleesi. And I will say I do have quite a bit of Khaleesi charts, Daenerys charts, because she's my favorite character from Game of Thrones. Between reading the books and watching the show, there's just something about a strong woman with dragons who can take care of business. That is the only one so far I have stitched up. I did kit up one other one, but then I ended up raiding that stash for colors, and then I ended up using the fabric for something else. So I don't know if I'll ever stitch any of them else up, but that's just the one personally I really wanted to stitch because it was different. I do have one Khal Drogo I might stitch up, but once again, that's from Heaven and Earth, and I'm not sure if I'll ever get to it. That's just because of everything that's happened over the past 2 years. For me personally, it's just, But, alright, and I've been talking about Charting Creations. And once again, all the needle minders on here are from Minding My Minders. I ordered, I'm trying to get it. That's a unicorn one. I don't know if this video is going to upload dark, if you're going to see. And when I had asked her about doing personalized minders with pictures. I ordered 3 minders from her that had 3 different pictures of my daughters on them, that it was one from each year of them all together for birthday pictures. I mean, one's May, one's August, one's September. So we just usually wait till September and do the birthday picture, a group shot of them, and that's the birthday picture for the year. The year the baby turned 1 was the last year everybody got individual birthday pictures, but still that year I did one of them all together. And then we've just kind of stuck with that because it's easier. And then trying to make sure you guys can see, this is from Charting Creations. The fabric is from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's Soaring Dragonfly and on 28 count. Opal Belfast, I believe. I know it's Opal, it's 20 count. I believe it's Belfast. Don't quote me on that. I don't have the package near me to double check. I just did straight up just black DMC. And then this is B5200 because I wanted the unicorn to be white. And the white, when I first got to it, regular white wasn't white enough. I wanted it bright white. And then the horn, which is kind of hard to see, and I don't know if it'll show up with this being darker, is yellow because, well, I wanted it to be different. And that is Goldilocks from Moe's Floss. I don't know if it's currently up on the website because I had this from before she'd put up a website. I don't know if she's going to I don't know if it's still up on there. If it is, it would be under her re-dye page. Alright, we're going to get to one other thing with, once again, I will say this whole thing is nothing but Mo Floss. When I decided to do the Storytime sampler, I knew I was just going to swap everything out for everything I had hand-dyed here at home, including the fabric. So all the frames I've done so far, all the frames and inside the frames are all hand-dyed. So, I mean, of course, sometimes it doesn't exactly match up, or like when the Wizard of Oz, my oldest was like, Mom, she's like, I want Toto to be brown, like he is in the movie, if you can see. So we did him brown instead of the gray, because I know Toto's gray in the book, but we've grown up with a brown Toto. And I mean, I know that they were doing it from the books, but you change as you go. So far I've done Alice, Secret Garden, Sherlock, Wizard of Oz. The empty frame is Charlotte's Web, which I haven't gotten around to. And then I did Peter Pan, and I've also changed out all the frames that each month is a different color to go with the story. Like the Wizard of Oz one, the frame's done in a floss called Dorothy. I can't remember what the frame for Peter Pan is, but since there was no Tinkerbell in the Peter Pan, I know Tinkerbell wasn't as prominent in the books as she is in the movies. But I wanted to do a Tinkerbell green frame, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Green Apple. It's from when she first started dying up here in Pittsburgh. Like, I didn't even have it. I went and raided my mom's stash. So, okay, and let's see. And then I have one more to show you, which, once again, everything, it's a Charting Creations chart, and then everything on it is from Mo. So the fabric's from Mo. It was an April Fabric of the Month. It was 18 count, because I started getting 18 count from her, just to have something different in my stash. And then, like I said, her pieces are 30 by 20, so. But this whole thing, there's 3 different colors on here, and it's from her Finding Nemo collection. So the fishing line, this is called Suspicious Fish from Charting Creations, if you wanted to look it up. The fishing line is Bloat, the fish is Nemo, and then the cat is Dory, because, well, I wanted to play with Dory, and I wanted to play with Finding Nemo stuff, so I went and bought the chart just so I could play with the Finding Nemo stuff. And then I had the blue fabric left over. I'd used it for another project, and this whole big piece is what I had left after stitching something else up. Well, my middle daughter's ballet teacher has moved on, so she's got a new teacher this year, and she really liked her last year. And when I found out her favorite Frozen character was Olaf, I had Mo's Olaf floss, and I stitched up from one of the ballet slippers from the tribal ballet slippers from White Willow Stitching on half of this fabric, because, like I said, this is what's left after stitching up, and I can even cut this and still get something else out of it. But I stitched up the one tribal slipper, the one that was on point, as an end of the year thank you present. But okay, well, I think I'm done rambling. I'm going to go make sure the 4-year-old has not destroyed the house, which I don't think so. And then I need to start getting stuff cleaned up for the birthday party on Sunday. So, let me know what you think. Any other questions? I will, once I get this uploaded, I will try to see how to link the websites I talked about so you can find them. But just let me know what everybody thinks, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody that's here in the States and Canada, and to everybody else, just have an awesome weekend.